Why is it that we expect negative things instead of expecting the positive? Why do we do that to ourselves? Thought I'd talk about that in this video today and help you guys kind of understand maybe the why behind it and try to help you learn how to start expecting better for yourself. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm Samantha, and I started this channel for the purpose of helping more people because I'm a one-on-one therapist, and so I just wanted to share my my experiences and hope to help way more people than I'm helping right now. So, and also to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety, and just kind of share my struggles and share how I got through my struggles. So hopefully my stories will help you guys overcome anything that you want to overcome. Because I have overcome a lot of things, and I've got some tips and tricks up my sleeve. So hopefully they help you out a little bit each day. I'm doing a video every day for a whole year. So this is video 61 of 365. So check out my other 60 videos. It's been quite a journey. Tomorrow, it'll be 2 months since I uploaded my very first video. So every day I've been doing this. And for those of you who are here every day, or at least some of the time, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. So I hope I can continue to give you some value. So why do we expect the negative? Whew, that's a big question. The world is very, very used to thinking negatively. I don't know why, other than we're programmed that way for some reason. I remember being a kid, I don't know about you, but just kind of like having these big dreams. And there was always somebody that wanted to contradict all the happiness and the light. And there's always somebody, I'm sure you guys all have that 1 or 10 somebodies that wanted to tell you, no, you can't have that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't be that. And so then we just, carry that identity on throughout our adult lives. And then we give it to other people. So we got to stop spreading that virus of negativity. It's a virus. If we look at it like that, your negative thoughts are literally infecting you, and then they infect others. So where are you speaking negatively to yourself all day long? Where are your thoughts going about your dreams? And one of the biggest things I will say that has helped me shift my identity to a new self is coming up with systems, first of all, processes, systems, not just a goal, but having a system to get there and knowing where I was going. If you want to be a new identity, you've got to know, what does that person feel like? What do they think like? What do they do? What do they not do? And there's non-negotiables that you have to have for yourself. If you want to change something, you've got to start saying, what am I not going to do? It's not only what am I going to do, it's more of what am I not going to do, or what am I going to stop doing? And one of those things on the top of my list was stop talking meanly to myself. That was a habit that I just had forever. And I didn't even know it was there. I mean, I know I felt bad, and I know that I would have these ups and downs, but what was at the core of it was that I didn't feel worthy and I didn't feel deserving. It's like you do logically, you're like, yeah, I feel worthy, I feel deserving. But then we really don't deep down. We have a belief somewhere that we don't deserve to be fully happy, because a lot of us, I think, are scared that the other shoe's going to drop. Like if I'm happy and I actually relax into this happiness, and if I were to create happiness in every single area of my life, somebody is going to take it away, because in childhood, somebody, even in our adult life, some bully has been, oppressing us. And we believed it. That's the issue. We believed it, and we still believe it to this day. I guarantee at least one of you out there believes what was told to you as a child. You still believe it today, and you're telling yourself that too today. You don't feel deserving. You don't feel worthy. You don't feel good enough. You feel like you're too much, and you're exhausted by just living. because there's all these beliefs that are infecting you inside. So I want you to look inside yourself and say, what dis-ease do I have in my body that's causing disease? It's just dis-ease. It's like we don't feel like we deserve to feel good all the time. Why is that? Look inside yourself. Find the belief inside you. Who said that to you? Who said that to you? And who made you believe that? Who decided to believe that? You decided to believe it. Now you can decide to do something different, because I just told you. You are the one that decided to believe it. You can shift that belief now. You have permission now, because now you know better. And some people just don't know this stuff. This stuff is so simple, but yet no one really taught us this stuff. And like emotional regulation, and not only how to think positively, but how to think from love and from peace and joy instead of what doesn't make us feel good. It's like, why do we continuously not think that feeling good is our number one job? That should be the number one thing we're working on, is feeling good and who do I want to be instead of who I am now. What do I really want in my life? And so we have to create systems and processes to get to that identity. And you just decide who you want to be. And you decide what you're going to let go of. Mostly shifting to a new self is letting go of something. That's really what it is. It's not only just having new behaviors and thoughts and beliefs, but it's letting go of the old and deciding, I'm not going to think this way anymore. I'm not going to continue to believe what my family told me. I'm not going to continue to believe what my family still believes today. You do not have to give in to somebody else's dysfunction just because you're related to somebody, or just because they're your friend, or just because they're your coworker. You have to, and I know this sounds, against the grain, but it's like you have to be very selfish so you can be selfless. And you have to choose to put yourself first, that you know what is best for you. And whoever does not like that, that's okay for now. Because I believe that we should be, if we have light inside of us and we want to be our authentic self, we have the right to do that. Everybody else is doing it. We got to do it too. Be your true self. You can't go wrong with that. As long as you're being yourself. Now, what happens is when you be yourself and other people get mad at you, I do hear people say, I don't want them to get mad at me. Or I don't want to be alone. All these different almost excuses. Remember, these are excuses. I don't want somebody to be mad at me. I don't want to go against what my family says. Or I don't want to be the odd one out. I don't want to be the black sheep. I want to fit in. I want to be accepted. The only person that needs to accept you is you. The reason why you're wanting to be accepted by someone is because you're not accepting yourself the way that you are. Maybe you should start believing that you can accept yourself the way that you are. And once you accept you, then the world starts to accept you. It can't help but do that. Because you're that energy now. That's who you are. So you're going to get that right back from people. And they say it's lonely at the top. And it can be sometimes, because not everyone is going to follow everything that you say, but the right ones will. The ones that are meant for you will be in your world. And you're creating your world. Remember, you're creating this through your imagination, through your identity. This is your perception that you're forming. So remember yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I talked about, taking off one pair of glasses and putting on another pair of glasses and looking through those and deciding that, this new pair of glasses I'm looking through, my thoughts, my beliefs, my behaviors are totally different, which means my circumstances are going to be different, which means people that come into my life are going to be different because I have shifted. I have shifted identities into a new reality, a new energy. It's totally different energy. I'm sure you've noticed before that people can change like overnight. Like yesterday they were really mean and then the next day they're really nice. It's because you shifted. Practice this. I know that this is hard to believe that we affect other people, but we do. And you can't technically change somebody else, but you change you first, and then they change. It's really odd. You got to practice this and test it, because you probably won't believe me until you actually see it for yourself. I've done it dozens of times, probably way more than that. I mean, we've all done it. We just didn't know we were doing it. But when I started practicing it deliberately, it's pretty interesting. What you assume someone is going to do or be like, you'll see it. It's very interesting. And so, but it starts with you. You've got to become your own evidence. You've got to try to change you. Start talking nicely to yourself. Then you see what happens on the outside. You'll lose weight all of a sudden that you couldn't get off. Or you'll start doing something that used to be hard. It'll be effortless. Or you'll be attracted to someone else that you were never attracted to before. Or you'll stop eating a food. You'll be like, oh, I don't like this anymore. Oh, wow, I like this food now. It's so strange how you'll just shift and you won't even notice it really until you're in it. And you're like, whoa, that's weird. I really do feel like doing this today. Whereas before I didn't feel like doing this. So it's really strange how it works. It's really cool, but it shows that you're evolving, and not everyone wants to evolve. And so if you're evolving and growing, you keep going. Keep going. You deserve the best. So whoever is going to follow will follow, but you just be the light. You just be the light. Doesn't matter who disagrees with you, makes fun of you, gets mad at you. You've got to adopt this identity that says, I do not care. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. And maybe you leave everybody else out of it and you say, I'm just going to be me. That's who I'm going to be. I am this now. This is who I am. I am love. I am light. I am a multimillionaire. I am a zookeeper. Like I said before, like be anything you want to be, you be that. That is who you are. That's your identity. And then what are your non-negotiables? What are you going to start doing on a daily basis that maybe you weren't doing before? What are you going to stop doing? Also, it's non-negotiables. It's like I work out every day. Non-negotiable. 7 days a week, I'm moving. 6 days, I take off on Sundays. I just do a walk on Sundays. 3 days out of the week, I'm doing yoga and a walk. 3 days out of the week, I'm doing strength training and walking. I walk every day. 7 days a week, movement. Non-negotiable. That's one of those things. I shower every day. Non-negotiable. It's just, we've got our non-negotiables. Now, another thing I will mention is my non-negotiable is getting off social media. I do not scroll on social media. I have an Instagram. I'm not even on there, really. I'll probably have to start doing some, advertising on there and eventually, but I love YouTube. I'm always on YouTube, but I'm never scrolling mindlessly or anything like that. Sometimes that will create happiness for you, but other times it creates an addiction, a dopamine addiction. We're constantly checking, which gives us instant gratification, which takes away our happiness sometimes, because in other areas of life, we don't have instant gratification. So it's training our mind to get this extra, quick gratification where it's almost like we can't function in daily life. It's like we're not present. And so I do encourage doing a dopamine detox, as they call it, and putting your phone down when you normally would have it. Like when you go to the bathroom, maybe go old school and leave the phone out of the toilet. Try that. You're only in there for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. Some people might spend 30 minutes. I don't know your habits. I don't know your toilet habits. But take your toilet time and make that you time instead of you and the phone time. And just remember what it's like to kind of be present instead of mindlessly reading things, and start training your mind to focus more on you and the present moment. And that is one of those things that will start to shape and mold your mind, whereas before it was just kind of mindless and just kind of all over the place. Now you're deliberately deciding to train it. So that's one of the first things that is really great for manifestation, is to start focusing. It's like with intention. Normally we're living by default. So we're like in default mode all the time, basically. It's just life just seems to be happening, all around us. And it's really happening through us. But when we focus our energy instead of letting our energy just haphazardly go everywhere, that's when it's most powerful and we can start manifesting fairly quickly. And it becomes fun because you've got this, you've set your GPS, you know where you're going, and nothing can stop you because you're on a route. It's going to take you right there. And so you've got to get very clear on where am I going and what am I doing that is keeping me? What are the barriers from keeping me there? And at the root, a lot of times it's, I don't deserve, I'm not good enough, I'm too much. And then you get exhausted and then you get burnt out. And then manifestation is just like, ugh, I don't even want to hear that word anymore. And it's exhausting. And it's unfortunate because we don't have to feel that way. But when you do feel that way, you can start telling yourself, I'm noticing I'm feeling this way. That means I'm trying too hard. I'm trying to force. I'm not allowing life to flow to me. I'm trying to force it. And we have all kinds of stressors in life, of course. We've got work, relationships, finances, children, caring for elderly, parents, being caretakers for spouses even, might have special needs children. There's all kinds, and children with mental health issues. You might have a parent with a mental health issue. You might have a mental health issue that you're struggling with. There are so many stressors in the world, and one of the best ways is to figure out, where are my time leaks? Where are my energy leaks? What am I doing on a daily basis where I could cut that out and carve out time to focus my mind on, where am I going? What do I want? What are my desires? What are my needs? Make a list of your needs that are not being met. How do you meet those needs for you? Not how does somebody else meet them. Start with you first. What needs am I not meeting? And if it is a need that somebody else isn't meeting, how can you meet that need for yourself first? We've got to give to ourselves first. You can't pour from an empty cup. You got to fill your cup up first. And sometimes when we fill up our cup, we don't need anything from anyone. That's kind of nice when that happens. Whatever we get from the outside world is just a cherry on the top, or the icing on the cake. It's really cool. And it feels even better that way because it's just a bonus. We were already happy to begin with. So yeah, it's just a training of the mind. We've got to train the animal, train that monkey in the mind, and get really clear with, where am I going? What are my non-negotiables? What do I need to let go of that I'm holding so tightly to? What am I afraid of will happen if I let go of these beliefs? What if I were to change the way I look at this event that happened yesterday? What if I look at it the opposite? Do the George Costanza from Seinfeld, the opposite. Think the opposite. What would that look like? Why can't you think the opposite? Why? Who said you can't? You said you can't. Or somebody else said you can't and you believed that. So really look inside yourself and say, where can I look at something in a different way? Because that will help you shift some things that maybe you didn't know needed to shift for you to be able to figure out what you're wanting. There's like all these different avenues that can take us to what we're wanting. But sometimes we're so clouded with old, nasty lies that we're believing that somebody else implanted in us, and they watered it and you watered it, and then it just became this horrendous jungle. And so we've got to rip out all those roots, and we've got to till the land, and we've got to plant new seeds, and then we've got to water those seeds. And we have to figure out, what are we planting? And that might be the needs that you list out. What are my needs? What am I not getting that I'm needing in life? You get to design your life. You can design anything. You're designing your mind, you're designing your life, you're designing everything, but you're doing it without a blueprint. right now. It's by default, it's just kind of happening. You might be living somebody else's life that they told you should live, and you're not even living the life that you want to live. So over here in your 2.0 life, create your blueprint. What's your blueprint? Your energetic blueprint. Because whatever you want is already created. It's already out there. All the possibilities already exist in the quantum field. Everything is there. All you have to do is notice something, and it collapses the waves, and then boom, it manifests. That's it in a nutshell. Boom, and manifests. So you just have to kind of guide yourself over there a little bit. A little more relief from each thought that you have. A little more relief. What if I could start thinking this way? I've always thought this way. This is just who I am. That's such a limiting belief. Unless you're really happy with where you're at and you're enjoying every aspect of your life, then you stick with that. But I imagine most people are not. And so that's why I say that. It's like, really figure out what are you thinking that might be something that you need to start thinking differently about, or the exact opposite. And maybe you're just adopting other people's beliefs. So really check in with yourself about that. Where are you not free? Because the world will show you where you're not free. If you want freedom, which I think everyone does, that's a big one with clients and people I've talked to throughout the years. That was a number one thing that they wanted was freedom. And so I'd say, well, where do you already have freedom? And where are you lacking freedom? Because we have a lot of freedom. But what thoughts might be keeping you from seeing the freedom that you already have and seeing the control that you already have? What thoughts are in there that are hindering you from believing that? From like what is piled on top of that you can't see? So it's identifying barriers and the beliefs that you can't have something. You can have anything. People have done it. People have made $1 million in an hour. People have created happiness from being in prison. People have created happiness from having nothing and created unhappiness from having everything. That's why I know that it's like you can generate happiness or any feeling you want from your inside anytime you want to, because your brain doesn't know the difference. Your imagination does not know what you're putting in is not true. And so you can put in anything you want. And the subconscious mind will grab onto that and it will identify as that. And it starts to project that out into your reality, into the simulation, as they call it, into the simulation. Do you believe we're in a simulation? That's another way to think. Is this real? Is what you're thinking real? Or is it just a perception? Open your minds. I want to open the world's mind. Just open it. Be open to all possibilities. Everything exists. You do not have to be upset all the time. You can be happy, carefree, free in general, whole, complete, healthy, all of those things. You just have to start programming it in and believing that you can. And I really think one of the first steps is noticing where you're thinking thoughts that are hurting you, that are creating the virus inside. Because we are sick from our thoughts. And if we can use our thoughts to make us sick, we can use our thoughts to make us well. So start thinking about that. What thoughts can I start thinking that will make me feel well instead of unhealthy or sick? So what virus am I creating? And give it a name and say, I'm done with this virus. I'm healing this. This is gone. This is not who I am anymore. Sometimes you just literally have to tell yourself, this is not who I am anymore. This is what I did. I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I cannot do this anymore. It just felt too bad. It was just too much. And I couldn't take it. And I was like, I have got to change my internal world. This is just not working anymore. And I think when we're ready, we're ready. You're ready. Or you wouldn't be hearing this right now. I really believe that. You're meant to hear this for some reason, whether it was for the whole message I just gave you or one little gem out of it. Take it and run with it. And know that you're worthy of everything you want. And just figure out Where are you contaminating yourself, hurting yourself, abusing yourself with your own thoughts? It's just, we really limit ourselves. So decide, I am this. I am this. 100%, not just like 75%. Sometimes I'm this way, most of the time I feel this way, but sometimes I feel this way. No, you're that way all the time. Why can't you be that way all the time? Well, because of this, this, and this. Those are excuses that you created. I'm trying to wake you up from that. Just notice. I had to tell myself this a million times. I was like, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. And you just have to catch yourself because you're doing it to you. That's the awesomest, that's a word, awesomest news, because now you're empowered because you know this information. You can do better now for yourself because you deserve to do better. So I'll leave you with that, or I'll just ramble and ramble for another hour. So thank you for listening, and I appreciate all of you. I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, this is Friday, so Friday night, and I hope your weekend starts off really well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.